It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck.
Eye on the Nation is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights are reserved.
Ambushing us, could you at least let us introduce the show? Oh, there we are. Okay, we take it back. So we're on ambush now.
Okay. Hi. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
I was just reading some of the comments that my lovely listeners, watchers, my nationers who found me on Facebook left
Oh, they found
me.
you on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, my name is Sandy Brown. It's not that difficult to find me. I don't have one of those weird names that you put
Like
on
Miss
Facebook.
4240 with the body.
Yeah,
Shorty,
no, it ain't
hottie
all of that.
With
It's
the toddy.
literally, yeah, it's very simple. It's
Yeah.
just Sandy Brown. It's once you can spell Sandy the way that I spell it,
Yeah.
then it's easy to find.
Do you know that's how we eliminate some people from recruiting, right? Like, so sometimes you go to recruit people and then you look at the Facebook name and it name Young Tug, Blood and Fire.
Yeah, the email
Get money
addresses
by
and
any
stuff matter
means
too.
necessary.
Yeah.
Kill
Email,
the police.
email matters too.
What? No. Immediately X.
You know, but I think that, and you know, I love my Bahamians. I love you guys so much. I love the Nationers. You know, I see y'all in my goings and my comings, and I just feel like
Listen to you getting very scriptural, but you see them?
in my goings and my comings, right?
Go ahead.
But you know, I think some of the things that y'all think are compliments, I don't know if it actually comes across as an actual compliment.
Did someone say to you, you know, you kind of fat? Someone
Well,
actually said that to me.
You know,
And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, when I see
no,
you,
I
you're
actually,
so slim.
I actually get the opposite. I get the opposite. I get, you look so fat on TV, but you're not fat. And I just be like,
I
thank
guess.
you.
I guess.
But they always say, you know, I think they think that it's a good thing because they always say, but you pretty though, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you look good on TV and you pretty, but you look fat on
But
TV.
is that like the psh, you know, the psh? You know, like, but the psh.
I don't know, you know? And somebody just wrote one of that under my comments. She's like, oh my God, like, you look, I thought you were fat and short. So you look fat and short on TV.
How do they tell that with you sitting in a chair?
I don't know. I'm average height. I don't know. I'm average height for a
you
woman.
may be a little shorter than average.
No, I'm 5'5".
With brown eyes?
No,
And
my
a
eyes
smile-
are dark brown.
And a smile like the sunrise?
You know, so I mean, it's okay to say hi, but you know, sometimes you don't have to mention weight or height.
But sometimes, I will admit, sometimes it is uniquely different, right? And so at 2 a.m., I was at a local gas station in my community because as mayor of my community, I go to do my rounds and make sure that I'm keeping the community safe.
Okay,
And I ran into somebody who I will only refer to as gas station man because that's what you have to be if you're to the gas station 2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And he said, man, you know, I never dismiss y'all. Hey, listen, man, and I love y'all. And I was like, wow, that was actually kind of refreshing,
Thank
right?
you. It's nice.
Yeah, it was 2:30 in the morning, so you know, at first I reached for my taser, right? But no, he was very, very warm and very welcoming.
Okay.
And I don't have a taser, Madam Commissioner. I just say that. I just say that so that
I
the
have pepper
criminals.
spray, just for
I don't think that
anybody who may
lawful
try
lighter.
me.
I don't think that
care.
lawful lighter.
Don't care. I have pepper spray.
Shanta, come and get her. Come.
I have pepper
immediately.
spray. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so yeah. So he's like, yeah, man, I just, you know, and so make sure to tell Sonny, I say hi, and man, enough respect, man. And I was like, wow, it's just, you know, it kind of make you feel like you're doing something for mankind.
I guess I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It was 2:30 in the morning.
I appreciate. I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't have to. I know it's a behaving thing, and you can't help it. You can't help but say if somebody, you know, gain weight or lose weight. Like, you know, your family members would be the first one to tell you, well, Jesus. You know, I've seen people in high school, it's like, girl, you gain weight. I was 80 pounds in high school. You know, I mean, at some point you have to.
Right.
But if
Especially
you
if you
gain
drink
weight,
all that liquor.
exactly. If you gain weight, is the issue. You know, if you're too skinny, they can tell everybody you're sick. It's like, can you win? But I'm just saying, you know, you could just come up and say, hey,
Well, luckily
love
for
you
you-
guys, or hate if you have some criticisms. But the whole, you know, and then the person say, I look Asian. Well, Asian wasn't the term that they used. And I just be like, sometimes I don't know what to say.
But you have a forehead, so I don't understand that because I don't know if your features are flat enough to be Asian.
I don't know. But, you know, I love y'all. That was it. But just, you know.
Give him a little chance.
Yeah, man. You know, give it a little chance. We do have a full show for you guys today. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
What's happening?
I don't know. Okay, there we are.
Oh, there we are.
Welcome back to the show. No, and you know, we love y'all too. Sonny just blessed them with kindness and love. I'm never rude to anybody, you know, regardless of what they say. Let me know. I haven't been rude to anyone yet. Let me say that. As it relates to the show. I had to tell somebody a little something once or twice when I was in news because I think people don't realize that you off, and sometimes if you see me somewhere in a casual setting and you come up and you try to talk to me about something and I say, you know, respectfully, You know, and they just got mad. Someone told me they was going to call Sabas for me.
Really? And tell him what?
That I didn't want to listen to them at 10 o'clock at night after 10 shots of tequila.
Well, I don't think Sebastian's want to talk to them, but numbers all the time.
You know, I'm just saying. Anyway, I love y'all two together more and more each day. We love y'all too.
Each day, new heights begin, and our soul is nearing home.
Anyway, don't forget, before we get into anything, that with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, and process payments 24/7. Also, move money at your convenience. So Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe, explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy, and Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow.
For all your everyday needs, call Canoe. You want to see the quote?
What's that for? To fix your car? You could buy a new car with that. You could buy two used cars with that.
At least it's ready now, though.
And start a car rental business.
SD company.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Before we get into all of the interesting stuff that's going on today, don't forget that we're still in the midst of that heat wave. The Department of Meteorology issued that statement yesterday. So everybody who's out there, just please be careful. I think they said it's anywhere from 104 to 111 degrees.
1,000. They leave off 1,000.
Now, the heat, the actual temperature and what it feels like is two completely different things.
You know
but
how
they
you know
are
it's
saying,
hotter than that?
How?
If you sit in your car, I drive an American vehicle. Not one of the little Japos.
What wrong with a Japanese? Continue.
Which means that my air condition is a fully functioning air condition.
Okay.
Not the air condition would only is cool while the car driving.
Boy, continue before you insult half our listeners.
And do you know that the air only cold right by the vent? Like you have to literally, at some point in the drive, lean towards. If the air have to make it to you, it ain't cold no more.
Anyway, for all those who
doesn't
watch
believe
it, I have to could you put the advisory thing back up? Let me read a little bit of it again so we can let everybody know the regions that are affected. So that's New Providence, Grand Bahama, the Abacos, Bimini, the Berry Islands, Andros, and Eleuthera.
So everywhere
okay?
where there's people.
Well, there are also people, and then
Six people in Long Key, 12 people in Cricket Island.
You know, ignoring you. So they're saying between 104 degrees and 111 degrees, and they're just telling you, keep hydrated. Don't forget your animals. Make sure your animals have enough water. If you're pregnant or vulnerable, children, elderly, don't forget. Make sure just keep hydrated. Okay?
And being in the house ain't enough for the animal to be cool, because some of you all house hot.
No, I tell you when I leave, I ain't even the whole AC on now.
Right, but I'm just saying,
fine.
You might feel the need to not leave out, still leave out more than normal water, because your house hot. Your house ain't cool.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, and don't forget, I think the first named storm, has been named. You don't say it like that.
No,
it's the way you say it.
I think they said the first tropical depression.
The first system of 2026.
Right.
Which they say could become Tropical Storm Arthur.
Right.
All right. And we're not saying that anything is happening.
Like somebody
but I said Arthur. You said Otter. Who's Otter?
What the name?
Arthur.
Okay. Arthur. Okay. Look out for Hurricane Arthur.
Arthur.
Okay.
It's not Otter.
So just go tell the people what else to look out for, okay?
I'm just saying, but we're not saying that to say that the storm is headed our way, that it's even been named. But we're just saying that to remind you guys to always be vigilant. You should have prepared or ready with your hurricane supplies, have all of the non-perishable items you need to have, your battery. Well, BPL can make sure you better have your battery-operated fans and your other stuff, because they've been playing with us these past couple of days. We do have an update on that as well later in the show.
And you can go by bare pressure, because there's the hurricane shelter now. They got generator.
And also, if you do have a generator, make sure that you have gas in your generator. Make sure it's been serviced and all of that, because sometimes you just let it sit there and you don't use it, and then it don't work when you need it.
Right.
We ain't supposed to be encouraging people to have plywood, because you're supposed to have shutters. But if you don't have it, get your little plywood and stuff ready. Make sure that your house insurance is up to date.
Yes.
Make sure you have flood insurance in addition to
No, you need
whatever.
hurricane insurance.
But hurricane insurance, I told you, the
hurricane
people said
insurance
hurricane
ain't flood insurance.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In addition to your hurricane insurance, make sure you have flood insurance as well.
Right.
Because as people found out during the last hurricane, apparently they two completely different things.
If God put the water in your house that ain't count.
Exactly.
Well, I
So-
tell you one thing,
Oh,
God
geez.
can't outdo me. When he put the water in my house, I put the water right back when the insurance people come.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just letting everybody
Because
know.
I want them to show me where Jesus' water stop and where my water start.
What are you talking about?
When they tell me that they're not going to cover the flooding because it's the ark of God, no problem, insurance company, I got you covered. When you leave here and come back, all of Jesus' water will be gone. This water is now leaving water. And please come pay me for these furniture and things. That's what you have to do to them.
Oh, okay. You finished? Okay. All right. So during his contribution at the House yesterday, Mikhail Bonamy, he actually paid homage to the work that Leon Lundy did to try and get some of the islands and stuff prepared for hurricanes. I think we do have a clip for that, and this is what he had to say.
Mr. Deputy, I am honored and privileged to stand here as the Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister. And I am grateful to the Prime Minister for the confidence he has placed in me to steward portfolios on behalf of the Bahamian people, specifically the Disaster Risk Management Authority, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and Bahamas Information Services, Television and Radio. Mr. Deputy, before I begin, I want to take a moment that is, I think, very necessary. I want to acknowledge my predecessor in this Disaster Risk Management Authority portfolio, the Honorable Leon Lundy. Minister Lundy did not merely serve as the Minister of State with responsibility for disaster risk management. He carried the Bahamas to chairmanship of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, the body through which our region prepares, responds, and recovers together. To sit in that chair is to speak for the Caribbean's most hazard-exposed communities on the most consequential questions of our time. Minister Lundy occupied that seat with skill, with dedication, and with quiet authority that defines genuine leadership. On behalf of all the members on this side, Minister Lundy, and every member of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, I say thank you, Minister Lundy. The standard you set, we carry forward. And I wish all of my colleagues to give Minister a round of applause.
Miguel looks nice in that suit. It's a very nice suit.
It could be okay.
I got distracted. The suit's very nice. I'm sorry, the suit it's a nice suit.
The man just talked with Leon Lundy for 12 minutes.
Yeah, but it's a nice suit. Congratulations to everything Leon Lundy did, but Miguel lives a very nice suit. And I guess, I don't know if he was actually, giving him his flowers, which I think is an amazing thing that you should do. Or, throw a little shade because Jamal didn't give him his flowers and that whole thing with they thought the people they were throwing shots at each other or whatever. But whatever it was, it's a good thing to say. The DRA, I think we did have a statement.
The RMA.
DR.
They take it very seriously.
Oh, sorry. The Disaster Risk Management Agency.
Authority. Stay with us. Stay with us.
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
We did have, I think earlier this week or last week, they did say that they are pretty much prepared for whatever's going to happen this hurricane season.
Yeah.
The majority of our shelters are ready. We don't have enough shelters for the amount of people that we have, but everything is ready. And so I guess it's just up to you now to make sure that, your home is ready, your people are ready. This one say his plane ticket always ready.
I can tell you that.
He just hopping on a flight and leaving everything
The house
here.
insured and the plane ticket is
Well,
purchased.
everybody don't do that, but if that's what you want.
Listen, if the house blow away, I could buy the house back. If I blow away, the house can't buy me back.
Okay, but maybe you could save some stuff. You could save somebody.
Yeah, my
Self.
Right.
Very selfish. I mean, it's not shocking to me.
self have a ain't it?
I'm just saying, it's not shocking to me that you leave it. You taking everybody that matters with you.
Naturally.
So how much people that is? 2?
Now you're getting them a place in
I'm
business.
just asking.
You're getting them boys in
Sorry,
business.
let me stay out of your business.
All
My
I want to
apologies.
say is like Noah and the ark.
Okay.
I shall leave no one unsafe.
Okay. All
If you
right.
come into the safety of the ark, there you will find safety.
You know what? A company that I hope is ready for hurricane season, BPL, but I ain't sure if they can be ready because they ain't even ready for the heat index. But Joe Beth came out today. They had a statement earlier today that
So
they
Beth, they
sent
are
out.
lying or not?
But she also spoke to the media today. She didn't say they lied.
Yeah, Joe, but we have all kind of power.
Yeah, no. But she said herself in the House that they were having generational issues. And then BPL sent out a statement that they were having issues because some of the stuff went down.
Yeah.
But she said the issues, that's not what the problem is now.
Right, she said,
Well,
we
say
cut me all
now
off.
that what the problem is now, she's saying that they're doing upgrades to the system.
Yeah.
Which is the question that I had from the beginning. Why y'all upgrading the system
She also answered
in
that.
the middle of summer?
She said because the Pike boy get killed and that, you know, we didn't need little chance. That's what she said.
This is what she had to say, y'all.
I explained that most of the outages are attributed to the upgrades, and one part of it is the fact that we are actually working in a time that was not a part of our project timeline. So our project timeline had us slated to be completed by the end of May. Unfortunately, the incident that occurred with the Pike employee had us delayed by 8 weeks, and because of that, we are now having to complete our upgrades in a time period that also have extreme heat. So what we're seeing is some of our circuits has to be offline for the work, the upgrades to be completed. Because of that, we have many of our areas operating where they would normally be with 2 circuits. They're operating under 1 circuit. That can work if it's in a natural environment, but we have extreme heat, which we would usually see in August, September. We're seeing some of that on our system May, June. And so...
All right.
Well, I just
Oh, sorry, I was round to myself just now when she said the heat. What
But you
usually
just
is
say the
in
people
August,
them say this
September.
heat wave is unusual.
No.
They
It's
might
been
have-
hot from January. I listen. We all know the summer months and
Yeah.
is be June, July, August, September.
Little piece of October.
A little piece of October. So you shouldn't just be preparing for August and September.
My question is, why not just put, if the project was already delayed 8 weeks, right? Why not just push the project 90 more days?
Because maybe without the project we would have had more outages. I'm just asking.
No, but she just said that they have made the determination to run some of their sites off of 1 unit. Before you go and burn up everything doing that, right, and you cause yourself some fire damage, just run the system the way you was running it when there weren't any outages and push the project 90 days.
Maybe the upgrades needed to be done. I'm not sure. I just think that it is unfair for Bahamians to be suffering in the sweltering heat. You know,
Sure.
people can't sleep. And they are for hours. And there was a statement BPL sent out that admitted
Right.
that they were load shedding now because they didn't have enough generation.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that, you know, this don't last the entire summer months. I don't know if y'all could remember, but I definitely could remember when... Remember they used to send a rotating schedule out?
Yeah. We remember
And then
that.
they stopped that and we was like, okay, BPL, you're doing better. Then they started renting the generators. I didn't care at that point how much the generators did cost. We just knew that the power never turned off. Then they say, look, we don't need to rent the generators anymore.
From Watzilla.
We have exactly. We have enough capacity. And so I think it's been like a couple of years where they were okay, but now it seemed like we going backward. I'm not
No, but
sure
you could
what's
look at the
happening.
infrastructure and see that obviously the work has been done. Again, it's simple mathematics in my mind is, if you say that the heat waves are unordinary, then why not just wait till November when it's cold and let's go back to the project?
Or maybe you should have started the project before the summertime.
No, but you couldn't predict Tingham was gonna kill the Pike people.
Okay.
You
I
couldn't
give
have predicted that.
Okay, I give you that one.
All right, so that lull you. She's saying 8 weeks. I think she's being generous. I feel like that's more like 12 weeks-ish, right? But all I'm saying now is you got a new budget ahead of you. Why not just pause the project, go back to your little FO, because you know you can't get money out of them under no circumstance, and tell them, well, hey, we need a couple extra dollars. That way, when you launch the project again in October, you got a little more headroom and you could take off at top speed.
Maybe she'll explain a little bit more, but that's all she said about it. Hopefully, people don't have to be in heat no more. I can't.
I just want to end by saying, BPL, y'all is a wonderful company.
You could be off tonight.
Y'all are doing marvelous things.
You could be off tonight.
I think that the work you all do is a human's task.
Someone say every time I hear one done, I look for my candles. Even the children know when the weather bad, you have to hurry up, charge up your stuff.
Yeah.
You have to, because one little thunder, one little off.
You all are doing a phenomenal job. And I don't
That
think...
can stop them from turning
I don't
off.
think that the people of the Bahamas give you all your due. And I want to right here from the bottom of my heart. On my accord, can I offer them on your
All right,
accord
we
as well?
gotta move on.
And on Sancheska's half of accord, because she got generator. You all just keep doing the wonderful work that you all are doing. Aren't they fantastic?
That's not the the only thing that Joe Beth was asked about today. I guess, when you find these ministers and you have them, you got to ask them the bunch of questions.
You really
that you
can't do
always
it on
wanted
the
to ask them.
105-degree sun, though. I thought about it. I was like, man, come on, this woman standing
I
on
understand
100
too. You know why I get too? Y'all took us on the tour in this sun. So now you can stand up in this sun and you can answer
At least
the
y'all
questions
could
that I
just
want to
walk the
ask.
minister under one mango tree.
Well, they also asked her to talk about whether or not her ministry or authorities were going to investigate claims that aircraft that was involved in the crash on election day that people cannot stop talking about was operating illegally because, there are allegations that the license had been expired. We all know what came out of that. That was where they find my man. He's still in the States. He trying to come back home. Politician number one. We ain't got to repeat all of that. But they just wanted to know whether or not there was going to be an investigation. This was our answer.
Aviation Minister, I know it was reported already that election plane crash, they had registrations that were expired. I wanted to know why or how are they able to fly if they had their documents were expired from last year?
I'll have to get further details from Civil Aviation.
And will you give it? Will there be an investigation into that matter?
Any more questions?
Yeah. Isn't it fantastic?
Now,
This sun hot.
Joe Beth.
The sun hot.
Now, Miss Kobe Davis.
The sun is muchos hotos.
Now, because when y'all want y'all statements to be out and when y'all want us to do tours in that hot sun, y'all go, well, not us, because technically I'm not a reporter.
Did she answer the question?
She turned her back to that woman and she said,
I can see
Any more questions?
I can see what Civil Aviation have to say. And
then she said, and then she said, all she needed to say was, I will let you know, or I will report back after Civil Aviation or Civil
If there's
Aviation will
something to
release a
report, we will
statement if
report
there's
it.
something to report back. But then, turning your back a little. And then people, the little rumors already, they say the attitude. And I ain't saying that's true because I've never experienced it.
hot.
Because I never, listen, my is hot attitude.
Oh, they're hot.
100. But I just
And
say,
she got the little finger wave going on, so we have to get out of the heat before the finger waves start melting, because that's a new set of catastrophe.
I just saying,
The minister got mitigating circumstances that have to be calculated. And I want you all to give her a little chance, all right?
No.
Joe Beth, tell them, miss, give them a little chance, all right?
No. Anyway, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Dance again? Could y'all unsabotage us?
There you go.
There you are.
I guess
Okay.
that works. If you say please, I guess it works. Welcome back, like we said, to Eye on the Nation. So Fred Mitchell today in the House of Assembly issued, I guess, what some may call an apology to Claudia Edwards Bethel. Well, I guess to the state and to her family. And remember, we told y'all yesterday that she was the woman who, trying to find a way to say it because I can't say that word, who was allegedly sexually assaulted by an immigration officer about 10 years ago. And the government was fighting the case. He conflicting reports on what happened to him, but Levin said that he did find something yesterday that said that the criminal charges were dismissed against him, but they then filed civil charges against him and he was to pay her. But I can't even find an update to see what happened in that case. But the latest thing was the Privy Council did uphold the court's decision here that the government is liable for what happened to her because she was sexually assaulted while in the care of an immigration officer, a government official. So Fred said he issued a statement in the House of Assembly today saying that since then, this incident happened more than 10 years ago, that there have been safeguards put in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening again, and pretty much that they've learned from this incident to prevent other women or men from being put in this same position. So this is what he had to say.
Make this statement to the House, and in particular to the family and the estate of Claudia Edwards Bethel, deceased. On the 11th of June 2026, the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council ruled that the government of the Bahamas was vicariously liable for the acts of an immigration officer, Norman Bastian, in arresting and detaining Claudia Edwards Bethel. We accept the judgment and apologize unreservedly to the family of Mrs. Bethel and her estate. On coming to office in 2021, the government established a multi-agency task force to address weaknesses in the oversight of the security forces. The work of that task force has already resulted in changes that strengthen the processes. The Minister of State will advance proposals shortly for consultation with all stakeholders. The officer, Norman Bastian, who perpetrated the wrong, has been retired from the public service in the public interest. We wish to make it clear that the government of the Bahamas does not in any way support or condone his unlawful conduct. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Now, right after that, the Member of Parliament for Long Island and, the person who foot been on the government neck since they've been in the House, Andre Rollins, stood up. And he asked Fred, you said that this man is no longer in service to the government, but he asked him, which I think is a very valid question, if he is receiving retired benefits. I think whether he's receiving pension, whether he's getting paid from the government, what is the status of this man, and is he still getting money? And Fred said, I said what I said.
That he was retired in the public's interest.
Yeah, he said, I'm not saying anything else, pretty much. Fred was like, he didn't answer, but I would love to know. I would really love to know. So this is what I imagine. The Speaker possibly could have asked Long Island for the relevance of the question, so that he could let us know what exactly was in his mind and why he wanted to have that answer on the public record. Because everybody was asking yesterday if this man was not held criminally responsible.
Right.
If he was still attached to immigration, which nobody could have found in any of the stories either.
So he's retired.
If that is the case and he is retired, are we still paying him?
But, okay, if there was no criminal liability, then I don't know if that would call for the revocation of his pension. So what they might be able to argue is that because there is a civil misfeasance, that he be made to bear the burden of costs, either in litigation or...
Okay, but we want to know any of this because there's been no update. There's no information. People don't know what happened. And now that the case has garnered so much attention, people want to know what happened to this man. Did he end up paying? Unfortunately, she has passed away, but she has children. so people want to know what's going to happen. So I actually applaud Rollins for getting up and asking something that didn't have to do with politician number one, because I think it is a question that people actually are interested in.
I don't agree that I don't disagree that it is a pretty decent question. I think this is where I think they can do a little bit more in fleshing out what the things that they go to the parliament to do, right? So if you ask the question and you state the relevance of the question in such, because it's a legal matter, if there were no criminal antecedents brought against him, then there'd be nothing to argue on that side. The question now becomes, should the Crown bear the cost of his miscalculation, or are we going to now ask this person that receives remuneration to bear the burden or the cost of his own misfeasance? Because I think that would be a reasonable argument to lay before the Parliament.
Well, they didn't answer the question. So.
Yeah, he also didn't say that was his reason.
He didn't have to say. I mean, you could have just answered the question if he knew the answer. You could have just answered the question. I think sometimes everything doesn't have to be about politics. Sometimes you can do things in the best interest of the public, and sometimes you can do things because the public wants to know. And I think people have been asking questions about this story from yesterday. There were editorials in both of the papers about it this morning because people want to know what happened. So I do think that it was a valid question. I didn't think more questions should have been asked, but Fred said he ain't into it. So, it is what it is. This is an interesting story that I thought we started talking about this story, I think, a couple months ago. Wow, I think that would have been before election. Wow, this has been a long time. And they brought it back up recently, and it was about this teen girl who had accused this man of sexually assaulting her, and then she went back and she took it back. And she said that...
she admitted to lying while she was on the stand.
Yes. We do know that some sort of lying happened. We just don't know at what point the lie happened. But they are charging her with perjury. So the prosecutors say that 17-year-old girl lied under oath when she testified that she never had sexual relations. So the perjury isn't because she then took it back. The perjury is saying that we know that y'all did have sex and you lied when you tried to take the charge back.
I know that she perjured herself, and the prosecution was able to make the case that that she had actually admitted that her statement was infactual.
But what they're charging her for is not when she went back and took it back. They're charging her for saying that she never had sexual relations with this guy. They charged her. She was granted $3,000 bail, and her trial is set for September 16th.
Well,
So due to the discrepancies in her evidence, they and the justice in that case ended up directing the jury to acquit the guy. They alleged that this guy, began having unlawful sexual relationship with the minor in 2021 when she was 12. They didn't find out about it until, remember, mom woke up in the middle of the night, was looking for her, went outside, said the car was moving. They pulled off, came back.
No, that's two different stories. The story was mommy came home and met them pulling up. He pulled off.
Oh,
they chased him down, chased
very
him
much
up
so.
Market
They called
Street.
the police. The police caught him and then they said the girl, I think, I'm saying, was this the churchyard story?
Right.
That they used to have sexual relations in the churchyard.
Right.
He ended up getting charged, and then she initially said that they did have sex, and then she turned around and said that they didn't have sex, which led to him being acquitted, and now the prosecution is charging her with perjury.
Right. And so like I said then, there were at least 5 other things that they could have charged this fella for that were the lesser included, that they could have easily gotten small convictions on. The prosecution opted to go for the whole hog, and they didn't have sufficient evidence for that. I don't know why they were prosecuting that matter that way.
Because they went off of the girl's statement and the mom's statement, and they were caught together, which was a lot of people saying they were caught together, and he could not explain why this big grown man was with this child multiple times. And didn't they have DMs and they had messages?
But none of that is sex.
Okay. Well, they had her statement, which she then took back, and now they're charging her.
Indecent sexual conduct. I mean, they could have charged this fella with kidnapping and all. There was just so many other things that they could have easily prosecuted. They went for rape, and now we have something that I perceive will become precedence in some legal matter in the future. Because of perjury isn't something you see every day in the Bahamas.
No.
And so I suspect that she is making history. But I think it is a wonderful lesson for the prosecution that sometimes you simply go for the matters that you can easily prove, and rape ain't one of them, or unallowed sex.
But they had her statement, so I don't think that in this case that it would have been their fault. They could not have known that she would have gone back on the stand and recant.
Sure.
Well, anyway, they charged her with perjury, so I guess we'll have to see what happens. I'm on the fence with this one.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe she could make a plea deal.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So when I was coming to work yesterday, I saw the big fire. The big fire. And there was a story about the fire, I think, on an apartment complex. I don't know if the entire thing got burned down. A woman was arrested in connection. The rumor, the little sip is the people say the lady in question was allegedly fighting with her boyfriend, a man, and then she left, and then the people saw her come back with something, and then
up from the bushes unbeknownst to them.
That's what the people say.
Ooh, Lordy, it's a fire.
That's the tea. And they do have a woman in, they do have a woman in custody, but that's a little tea child that they say. You're all funny here. This is the story. Anyway, we'll talk about it after we watch it.
Well, tonight, several families are facing an uncertain future after a fire believed to have been deliberately set destroyed a two-story apartment complex. Our Rebecca Bain was on scene today.
I was not expecting nothing to happen like that. As far as I know, I got up, went to work, everything was okay. And then to get like a phone call saying that your house is getting burned down is very heartbroken.
It was a devastating turn of events for Angela Sherrillis as thick black smoke filled the sky over Infant View Drive, where a fire ripped through a two-story apartment complex. Sherrillis, a tenant of the building, was left searching for answers as she watched the aftermath unfold. She says what began as a simple phone call quickly turned into a nightmare. Rushing to the scene, unsure of what had happened, Sherrillis says she was frustrated to find her home engulfed in flames as she believed the fire may have been the result of arson.
No accident. It was intentional. The person, because it was her and her boyfriend who was actually fighting. So during the anger, she started the fire. I'm actually angry. I would love to do something about it, but I know I have to leave it in police custody.
As firefighters continued their battle against the blaze, which left behind little more than charred debris, Sherrillis placed the area overwhelmed by the reality of her loss. Now displaced, she says she is struggling to imagine what comes next.
What hurt me the most is that all my documents, my paperwork is in my apartment and they are all ruined. So it's like I have to start all over. I need the help. I don't have nowhere to stay. I don't know who I could call on to say, oh, Angie, just lay your head for. So I do not know what to do. The other person's homes got burned down. They don't have nowhere else to go. All their clothes, their documents, everything is destroyed.
Despite the tragedy, Sherrillis says she is grateful that no lives were lost. In particular, she is thankful that her nieces and nephews who were inside the building at the time escaped without injury. While she remains hopeful, she says there is one thing she is now praying for.
She has to be held accountable for her actions.
Eyewitness News reached out to authorities for comment on the incident, but up to news time, no response had been received. If you are interested in assisting Sherrillis and others affected by the fire, you can contact 436-8518. Rebecca Bain, Eyewitness News.
436-8518 if you want to help them out. As adults, one of them?
Okay, no problem. 436-8518.
If you want to help them out to rebuild, relocate, find somewhere else to go. An awful story. As grown-ups, we really need to learn how to control our emotions. Honestly, I mean, what's the thought process behind it? I'm mad at you. I could burn down a building you don't even own.
No, if you run in there, I'll burn this building. You can't run from me.
I will burn your stuff. Like
these buildings connected together.
No, I mean like not the building. You know, like if you have a little car situation or whatever. Awesome. Yeah, but that's yours. I ain't punishing you. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you burn down.
Shanta, I want you to turn up your radio for this one. Go ahead. What you plan to do?
You burned down the other people live in the building. That's not even his. How are you hurting him?
Now, what was her last name? Miss Sent.
Now you go into jail. Now you have to pay these people back.
I want to tell you something. As hurt as Little Missy on the TV there sound, you know who really destroyed? Whoever have this for sale sign up
I
on
just
this
saw that
building.
too. I was like, hold on, it's for sale
They
now?
can't believe this. They thought
Well,
they was about,
maybe their insurance will pay
I
out,
will
so now
admit
they
that
don't have to.
They thought they was going to make a comeback. This building was supposed to be, they'll come up and like,
Figure moving. And that's the thing, you don't burn
Oh,
this
boy.
place down and do all of this. And whoever this man is, you was arguing. Whoever the woman is, you was fighting with him for.
they
He just
probably
gonna
watching
move in with her.
They probably watching us together right now. Him and Crazy Fire Woman.
You know, they say, anyway,
Crazy Fire Woman
No,
and him
she
laying
in
up
police
together.
custody.
The
She in
police
police
have her?
custody.
Okay, very good.
I know if they playing
Well,
us in.
I'll tell you what else might be interesting. He might go and drop the charge.
He can't. She burned down somebody's building. It's no charge he could drop.
Oh, boy.
That's arson.
That is
We really
arson.
have to learn how to control our emotions. I know these men is carry through it, and I know you want to, you know, but control your emotions, man. Hurt them in other ways.
What, Shanta?
Not physically
Shanta?
hurt. I mean, like walk away. You know, leave them. When you
Right.
leave them, it hurts them too. You don't have to physically
You
hurt
sure?
them.
You sure you can leave?
Why y'all have me for crazy, B? I'm not crazy.
Oh, boy.
Why y'all have me for crazy?
I just checking. I don't know. You want buying people clothes, the car.
No, I'm
Commissioner
just
of Police,
saying-
I trying to get her to repeat it. What all you want buying? Hold on, Commissioner. I almost got her. What else you want buying now?
I bust the windows
See,
out
this
your
was-
car.
That is also causing damage to property.
That's fine. That's your property, though. You burned down a building that don't even belong to that man.
The penal code coming looking for you. Yeah. His lordship and the whole judicial system.
I bet you if I bust them windows, he could tell the police, don't worry about it.
I love her.
I love her. That's my baby. And then me and him go fight the police together.
Yeah, you know
That's
we
my
sneak in-
baby. Don't
we
worry
sneak
about
in you
it.
little something. Ah, boy.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
It's not.
If y'all want to help, what was the number again?
Oh, no, don't do that. 535.
Darn it.
Don't do that.
We'll get the number again and we'll put it up on the screen
But I
later.
have great confidence that the Minister of Social Service
Is gonna
Barbara
assist?
Carey, Yeah, she's been up and about ever since. She ain't like a full-time politician, so she ain't have no constituency. Like, this is the first time the Minister of Social Service only job is
No, we'll
like
see.
social service. So I think Barbara Carter is up to the task.
She was at another fire, I think, or something.
Yeah,
that-
she been on a roll from she
Yeah,
come.
all right.
And I think she's ably assisted by Parkas
Oh,
roll.
I was reading comments.
Yeah, and so together, I think that two-man team should
Yeah.
be able to square her away.
Sonny, you're red and you're pretty. We know you crazy.
What? That's not an excuse. That's not justification.
First of all, I'm not red. Producers say if the police never call in your relationship, it ain't real. Y'all is some toxic people, boy.
That's
Sonny, thank you. Sonny is not crazy. See? Sonny is not crazy.
The little people in the head might be. Though.
They might be, but I don't listen to them all the time.
Okay. Why they in there? Why you ain't put them out?
We used to have some good debates. Anyway, let's move on. We are going to find that number again. We're going to put it up later for anybody who wants to assist those. I hope, in addition to whatever criminal charges, she's fined, liable, like have to pay these people
I
back.
thought you was going to say you hope they get the woman some counseling, San Jessica.
No, I hope she pay these people back.
Do you know what it must take for you to mentally compose yourself to burn down a 2-story complex?
You ain't compose yourself. That's the thing. There was no thought behind it. All I know is this man make me mad, and I'm going to burn this to the ground.
First of all, when you run up the stairs, time make you so tired you didn't want to light nothing on fire no more? Listen, I could go to burn something down. The minute I have to run up 2 flights of stairs, I change my mind. I trying to catch my breath now. I can't light nothing on fire, because how I can get back down the stairs? This is why young
Nobody
people...
think about it. It's
Oh,
nobody
boy.
thinks about the consequences.
Oh,
Anyway, this was something that you were very interested in yesterday. You were very mad about it when the U.S. sent out their advisory letting the U.S. people know not to get any jet skis when they come here for the summer. Well, the jet ski people say it's unfair to us.
It is.
Why would you all tell them not to come to everybody because of an isolated incident? I know you yesterday suggested that they sue.
Yeah, and then the Justice League called me and told me they would be protected by immunity, so no judge in the Bahamas would touch it. But I came up with a better idea.
Which was?
What you all should do is you all should take picture of the tourist them. And when the tourists them, see, because the tourists them don't be getting in problems with the regulated boys, you know.
Okay.
It's when they go to these little pirate operation where the fella picking you up in a car with got 4 different colors and walking you to a little back road to go on a jet ski that got 3 different colors. That's when y'all is end up on beaches that y'all can't explain.
Not necessarily.
Take picture of them.
Because some of these people work for people who are
yeah, but
part
those
of
I'm saying those are like one-off.
Okay.
So the bulk of the problem exists among the unregulated. So I suggest to y'all, when y'all see, because the American, them come for the bargain. So when you see them trying to get a bargain, you take picture of them.
Okay.
And you send a picture to Haishel and you say, you see what these bunch of Americans doing?
Okay.
I want you to now call your little production team back and tell the Americans, these Americans here, stop doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Ministry of Transport sent out a statement as well. So I'll just read you a piece of it. It said, the government of the Bahamas takes the safety of every resident and visitor seriously. We have formed a multi-agency task force on this matter several years ago, and the work is continuing. We've seen the recent comments regarding the water sports activity. We have a great partnership with the USA, and we look forward to open collaboration on this matter. The Bahamas has already taken steps to strengthen safety in this sector, including enhancing legislation, providing more resources for law enforcement, and increased oversight of operators. Opposition remains, as always, safety comes
Safety
first.
first. Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say this, right? I think Leon Lundy is the new minister. You heard how the minister of the DRMA spoke about how up to the task Minister Lundy has proven to be. And I suspect he's going to just march right over there in the Ministry of Transport, which has oversight and authority over these jet ski operators. I tell you, Leon Lundy and the Han and Kimber Brigade could fix any problem. So when the Han and Kimber Brigade pull up jet ski operators, beware.
Well, I wanted to play what they said.
Oh.
This is what the jet ski operators had to say.
By him making these comments, it kind of puzzled me a little bit because you have a lot of Indian people invest a lot of money in this industry. You have people taking care of families, the grandparents, the grandchildren. You got medical bills, mortgages, all kind of different things. We're looking for someone to like boost us in this business. And another thing,
yeah, and he's very right. And you cannot deny that the ambassador's utterances are malicious.
I don't think that they were malicious. I think that he was just looking out for his people, and I think we would have done.
And he can do that. And he can do that.
I think we would have done the same thing.
But I think he also has an obligation to offer advice with a bit more, is it judicious language than the one I see used in the video that he sent. They're not all rapists and plunderers and pillagers.
No.
They're not. These are hard-working people that have built an industry largely on their own personal resource. Mm-hmm. They've built it in, and it causes me to wonder whether or not the Americans are trying to drive business towards hotels that are largely in the Bahamas American-owned.
I don't think so.
How else would you justify it?
Because there have been incidences where this has happened. And I do think even though there are guidelines in place and safety protocols in place and they have new rules in place, that incidences have still happened. And so the United States has a responsibility to warn its citizens. They do this every year, though.
And
so
this is my point.
There's nothing new. The only thing new about this statement is it's a video.
The disagreement,
every year, they put out this exact same statement.
Agreed. Now, here is why it is offensive in my view. Because you could say this thing happens. Fine. But the government has continued to adjust its trim on this matter. Do you remember the last time we spoke about it? The U.S. Embassy gave a list of things that they thought the Bahamas government should do. You remember that? And the Bahamas government has done every single thing y'all put on this list.
Okay.
How come y'all still have a problem?
Because things were still happening.
Oh, so tell me.
If something happens,
so the
then I
question
still
becomes,
have a problem.
they're American people. What y'all need to be satisfied?
Nothing to happen.
Can they promise me that in America?
No, I'm just saying, no, but Fred has also issued
remember the
statements.
man?
You know, Fred is also, when things happen in the U.S.,
Fred don't need to
ain't nobody does read them or pay attention to them, but Fred them and say, hey, this is what's going on. We say y'all shouldn't go here. Y'all shouldn't go this place.
Really they do America. I see them for like Istanbul and
I've
things
seen
like
a statement on the U.S.
The one I remember was when the man almost jerked the man face off. Fred issued a statement. When the fella attacked the guy inside, I think it was either the gas station or the food store. All I'm saying is, right, I don't know if you ought to dress down an entire industry that the government itself has proven that they're prepared to put. The task force didn't exist.
I don't disagree with you, you know. I'm just saying that I think that they're just doing what they feel like they have to do for their people. I think that every year, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been in news for a while. And every year, I feel like we do this exact same story where they say this thing about jet skis, and then we interview the jet ski operators, and it doesn't seem to affect their business.
Fine.
It seems like the tourist still is coming.
No, they're saying that this is supposed to have some sort of a 40% blow.
They say that every year. I mean, I promise you, we could find stories going back where they say the exact same thing. I don't know if we could tell the U.S. how to word statements that they give to their people, because they certainly can't tell Fred what to say.
Agreed, but if you say have beach wardens, I say beach warden. You say have a task force, I say task force. You say have body cam, I say body cam. Well, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth, man.
I want my visa. We'll be back right after this, y'all. Much more. Much more. When we
Well, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm David Miller.
And I'm Sandy Brown. And this is your daily reminder that men will leave you in the desert without any water.
You know that the closest thing to the devil is a woman, right?
Welcome back to Eye on the
realize
Nation.
Adam was in
that
God,
wasn't for you to make a
holy
statement.
garden
That wasn't for you to make
for
a statement.
5
That
days,
was my
the devil
statement.
ain't talked to
That
him
was
once.
not for you to make a statement. That was
This
my
woman
statement.
show up for one day, the devil
Men
start
will
talking.
leave you
Oh, boy.
in the desert without any water.
You ain't gonna talk to the devil, though.
All right? Everybody talking about the polygamist. Watch it. It's a good thing. Anyway, don't forget that with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. So Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe, explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. So Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy. And Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow.
Canoe. For all your everyday needs.
All right, so we decided today, it's graduation season. Congrats to all the graduates again. I see St. John's College had a graduation ceremony today. If there is any schools that we may have missed, if any of our nationers, if any of your children graduated, y'all could send us a shout out in the comments. We would love to acknowledge them and tell the little darlings congratulations. And if they're graduating from high school, welcome to the real world. Because let me tell you, all of the things that I thought was going to happen when I became an adult, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like the bills just started coming and the stress just started coming, and going to school from 9 to 5 or 8 to 3 or whatever time it was that you go to school seemed like an amazing thing. I wish all I had to do was sit in the classroom now and do some homework.
Yeah.
But you got to make money and you got to pay bills. And so we wanted to talk about that today. I saw a lot of people talking about life after graduation in the Bahamas. And so there are a lot of different tiers to this, and we want to open up the phone lines and we want to get you guys involved as well. Give them the number.
323-777-5-698-0775.
So there are a lot of different conversations that I had. I guess I saw today on social media. I'll start with give me his name. You say send your baby a birthday shout out, but there's no name.
Baby,
so give me the
happy
name.
birthday.
Give me the name of the baby, and then I could send the shout out. So one of the things I saw was people talking about the University of the Bahamas versus going off to college, right? And whether people see UB as a viable option, or whether, some among us look at UB like it's beneath us, and it just seems like the best option to send our kids off to college somewhere. And so that is where the argument started, and then it continued with people talking about technical schools and whether going to BTVI makes sense. But we'll start with that, with the University of the Bahamas option versus going off to school. Now, I saw a lot of people were saying that they felt as though the recruiting in the University of the Bahamas is not as strong as other colleges. When they come in, they have college fairs. Like, they're offering these kids stuff. They coming down and they say, come to our little town. A lot of these is be towns you never heard of in the back of the U.S. somewhere. A lot of these kids aren't going to big cities because big cities mean big money. A lot of them are colleges in,
Missouri.
Yeah. I had a lot of friends who went to colleges
It could be you in 18 cows.
in places you never heard of, where they were probably the only black person that was around, but the school offered them a scholarship. Not saying that you can't learn from being in an environment like that, but they're saying that these schools are throwing everything at these kids, and UB isn't doing that. And it's just comfortable in being the second option.
It's kind of because of how we do the business, right?
Okay.
So because the government wants to pride itself on free education, air quotations, the government kind of runs UB, in my view, in a predatorial fashion. And so, and so what happens is you have people who pay for parking at a university only to not ever be able to utilize that parking.
Well, I talked about that
You
yesterday
then
with my
have
daughter.
the people who, when they park, UB can't guarantee me that when I come out of my class, the water to get to my car ain't gonna be waist deep. Then you have the security pushing. And so they use these techniques as revenue collectors because they want to be able to say, and Madam Speaker, we put 3,274 people through UB.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying the way we approach tertiary education has to change so that UB doesn't seem so abusive to the people that opt to go there.
I don't think that is what okay, I went to the University of the Bahamas, but I
don't know what's happening. It's next time you hear the voice, just say, Master Speak, I hear the servant here.
But I went there when it was the College of the Bahamas. I didn't go off to school at the time. I had 2 older siblings that were already off to school, and it was like, it's just, if the financial part of it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
UB at the time was not free, so it was still something that my parents had to pay for, but it is now free. Once you do a certain pass a certain amount of classes, once it's not college prep, it is mostly free.
Right.
You still have to pay fees and stuff, but the classes themselves are free.
Right.
So if it was $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, now you'll only be paying maybe less than $1,000, maybe a couple $100 to send your kid to college.
Sure.
But what is so wrong with the University of the Bahamas? Like, why do people try to make it seem like, oh, like your kid is going to UB or you're going to UB, like that's beneath you somehow?
Oh, well, that argument there is the thing that I've argued for quite a bit of time. When we removed racism from the Bahamas, we replaced it with haughty classism. And so you have this, the who's and the what's nots, who will never, again, this is the argument I had with the law enforcement thing. Some people will never be a part of a thing. And they will only serve the purpose to chastise the thing and to speak down to the thing, although they children, no one from their lineage will ever use it. And so in an effort to keep up with the who's, you need to be able to say, oh, my son is in Tennessee State.
But do you think that Bahamian Bahamian business owners are looking at a degree from the University of the Bahamas as not as good as a university, let's just say from the University of Tennessee?
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I think it is. I think it is about the coffee table talk, right? So I think it sounds so good to say, yes, Marla, darling, the boys over in Winchester, right?
Right.
And you get to feel like you've done something spectacular. You've done nothing, right? Your son is probably over there eating mushrooms and having same sex. You should return him home.
What does that have to do
I'm just trying to show you. You should return him home where he could actually have the firm hands of some guiding principles.
Back in the day, I could understand why people would send their kids off because I do not think that COB at the time was at the level that it should have been. But it's now moved to university status. A lot of these classes that only went into associates now go up to bachelor's degrees. You can get 4 years free education here. And then if you are studying something that requires you to get a master's degree or a doctorate, then you can go off to college. But you would have saved 4 years worth of money.
But even that is a slippery slope, right? Because I saw the conversation also go from, well, I did do my 2 years at UB. And then when I tried to transfer my credits, the college that I wanted to transfer to say that I was only allowed to use half of those credits because UB had some accreditation issues. All I'm saying is we cannot use or continue to use the tertiary education platform as a revenue generator. And when I say that, I'm talking about the exorbitant fees, the lab fee. I don't have one lab class, I got lab.
I don't think they're using it as a revenue generator, though. The only reason I could say that is because the classes are free. They have to make some sort of money because they're not making money from us anymore. Are the fees exorbitant and stupid? Absolutely. But it reminds me of the hotel fees when you go to the hotel and you're paying for the sheet and the blanket and the AC and all these other different stuff.
That's only because you already make the big leagues and you could afford to pay for the sheet and the blanket.
The point is, I don't think the fees are... They're ridiculous, but compared to what you would have to pay if you had sent your kid off to school, and compared to the fact that they are getting a free education, I don't understand why people do not look at the University of the Bahamas as a viable option.
And I want to tell you that when you say people, right, you ain't mean Lil Quentin Tallier, No. Quentin Talia, that's Quentin's daughter.
Okay.
Right? You mean little Jeannie Sinclair.
Oh, jeez.
Because Jeannie Sinclair, mommy, who is now the parent of a Bahamian child, can't wait till her baby get the 5 BGCSE so she could go to UB. All of them in there. But that is beneath us. When I sit down with big time Francesca, who does pay for the pillar in the hotel.
I went to UB.
I'm saying, but
I actually went to COB.
But now, right? Now that you
I didn't even go to UB.
But now that you are a part of the upper echelons, right?
My daughter goes to UB.
I'm telling you.
I like free things. That was a free education.
When I sit to the table, I need to be able to say, well, Francesca, darling. Because, you know, we have to manufacture these horrible British accents. Well, what exactly are the kiddies up to these days? And listen to you spilligate about some nonsensical, oh, well, you know, they're taking rowing in Paris. It is.
So you think it's a prestige thing? It's a status
classism.
thing. Well, I can tell you one thing. I took that free education. The program that my daughter is in is a bachelor's program. If she could stay there for the full 4 years, I would let her stay there. But the program that she's studying, she has to go up to a doctorate because she couldn't just do a regular thing.
What's she studying?
Psychology. She wants to be a therapist. She wants to be a psychologist. So she has to get a doctorate if she's ever going to make money or, you know. Yeah, she has to get a doctorate.
All of them?
Anyway, the program that she is in at UB is a 4-year program, right? So eventually she is going to have to go. Now, if you are arguing about the experience, now what I want her to get is the experience of not living in the Bahamas for a while, which is if she can transfer after the 2 years,
to accomplish what, if I could ask?
I would. So she could see that there is life outside of the Bahamas.
I want you to quantify that for me.
Okay, that things are different. When you go and you travel, and not just outside, I'm talking about outside of Florida as well, outside of the United States, and you see different ways that people live, then you can come up with different ideas and come home and say, look, this worked here, why can't we try this?
Sure.
Instead of having the same argument because you're looking through life with the same lens.
Now, can I offer you this?
Okay.
When you compare the Bahamas, right? Like, believe it or not, God really has done a good job taking care of this place because some days I don't understand why the whole place ain't on fire, right?
Yes.
But if you look at the bedrock of our institutions, very few places do it better than us. Very few, especially if you talk about our Caribbean colleagues.
Yeah. No, I'm
right?
talking about the social aspect. I'm not talking about education.
No, I'm talking
saying,
about,
yes.
Okay, so for instance, let's just say, if you look at Turks and Caicos, massive economy, robust, booming economy, everybody is a millionaire, right? But they just the other day established a mortgage corporation. We had mortgage corporation from Jesus was in swaddling clothes.
Yes, but that's because you're talking about Turks and Caicos. I want her to go somewhere where on the weekend, if she wants to do something, go to an art fair or go to do something. She don't have to go to Fusion or
Bahama. She could go to Cuba.
Or Bahama. I'm not saying it has to be the U.S. I said that. I want her to experience life outside of the Bahamas.
And this is what I'm asking you because, okay, so when you go to Cuba, what you will find is the only thing there to do is go to art shows and listen to a fella play the flute.
Yes, but there are places that have both. You're trying to play the devil's advocate, but there's a place that she can go to get an amazing education and the social aspect.
The thing I'm trying to point out to you is the thing that many people claim they are looking for, the Bahamas actually has.
We don't have a social life. We do not. Absolutely not.
What do you mean? If you get on a boat and ride to the Exumas, if you go, like, there is
please stop. Besides sun, sand, and sea and swimming in the ocean, there's nothing for these kids to do on the weekend. There's nothing for them to do. We had a skating ring. I know what happened to it. We had different stuff. I know what happened to it. All these children do right now, all we do when we want things to do. All Bahamians know if it's something to do, we sit down, we eat, and we drink.
Do you know for summer, I intended to send my son with the LMJ to go and do summer sunfish sailing.
I literally just said sun, sand, and sea. Suppose I don't like something other than sun, sand, and sea. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to show you how exotic, like these aren't normal things, you know.
But these are things that these children have grown up with. So I want them to see other things. I want them to, if they want to ski, learn how to ski, see snow, do other stuff. That's all I'm saying. The social aspect of it, I get for sending your kid off to school, right? We have some shout outs. Someone said, I have a cousin who works at the University of the Bahamas. He said there are more Caribbean students going to the university than Bahamians. Yeah, because it's a good school. It's not a bad school. I don't understand, but Shout out, good day. Want to send a congratulations shout out to Brett Aubrey, graduating from St. John's College. Congratulations, Brett. I think we have some photos too, then we can come right back.
Okay.
We have 2 more shout outs. I think these, shout out to Elena Miller, who also graduated from St. John's Primary School. There she is. And congratulations, Elena. And also shout out to Alondra Miller, who graduated from St. John's. So she's in the senior high school. I assume that they're sisters, Elena and Alondra. Yes, they are. So one graduated from grade 6 and the other one graduated from...
And are they Arlington's daughters?
From the 12th grade. What? No.
They name Elena and Alana. They daddy.
Maybe their daddy named Alan.
Or Algernon.
Alan, probably, because it's Elena and Alana.
Yeah.
Stay out these people business. Congratulations. We have some social media posts as well. We're going to get to. You're going to put them up from there, or do I read them from here and then y'all? Okay, so one says, UB has real advantages, but in today's competitive environment, being affordable isn't enough. Students need to be actively recruited and shown why they should choose the institution. From our experience, every university was selling its value except UB, which often feels more like a fallback option than a first choice. And that's something that the UB needs to address. So maybe they need to, pardon? Okay. And that, so maybe that's something that, you know, they need to work on, actively going into the schools and recruiting and letting people know, hey, we ain't just here because your parents can't maybe afford to send you off to college. We're actually a pretty good school.
Right.
Maybe that's what they need to do. I don't know what their recruitment process is like. I think we have some other ones. I think the issue is not UB itself, but rather students and parents see it as a last resort because many simply want to, I think they're supposed to say, go off. I hear comments many times, why go to UB and see the same people I went to high school? And then, like, people say parents doing what they can't afford, and then the cycle starts.
Well, that is a pretty reasonable argument, right? So if you say, I want to send my child to London so that he can have some broader networks, that is an argument I could jump on. And I'll tell you why. If you live to be 40 and not die, you will find that you are able to do far more with your phone than you can with your degree. And it's cool if you could call some people that are in some places, especially if you're going to go to school with lawyers and doctors. You know, like how me and Motley been to school around here with a couple of our politicians. You know? That makes sense. But, you know, I mean, I think we discount how advanced the Bahamas actually... The problem with the Bahamas is there are some archaic people that just doesn't allow her to blossom to her full might. But the Bahamas is pretty sophisticated.
I think I'm an advocate for going to UB, getting the college experience, and then if you want to go off because your program doesn't allow you to continue to go to do that, because I would encourage anybody to travel the world and see things outside of the United States and Canada, which is where we send a lot of our kids, and London. I see even the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have like an exchange program with China. We have students that are living that are living in China, which I think is an amazing thing. Even if it's not UB, we could still take advantage of some of the programs that the government has here for us, so we don't have to go in debt sending these children to school.
Yeah, did you know I did?
No, you used to.
I did Mandarin. I did Mandarin at the continued education with what was her name? Dr. Gao?
People a number. Y'all could chime in on this conversation with us.
No, I actually could. And that has been around for almost 20 years.
323-775. Yeah, it's been around for a while.
I actually considered that at one point.
I think we still have some more posts that we're going to read. You're going to put up some more. UB is a real option with real advantages. Peer pressure is real for many, particularly for mid-private school families. I think this is the point that you were trying to make. There is a need to brag for many that their child went off to university, but at UB, your child can do both with only half of the expense, less than half. Because the beginning things for these children going off, and especially if they coming back to, I don't have a problem with people sending their kids off to school. If you send them off to school, send them off to school, but don't do it and put yourself in a huge debt for an education they could have gotten here for free. It's graduation season, and once again, we have hundreds of students going into the world. I see the usual discussion about post-education. I've gotten the calls about donations, sponsorships, and scholarship opportunities. Why, when we have UB here for free with certain qualifications? It does not stop there. If that student do have the qualifications for UB or SATs or ACTs for international schools, then we really need to start and rate and look at BTVI. We see the complaints about lack of a job, immigration, and lack of opportunities, but we are not being realistic about training our students for basic skills for survival. Now, this I agree with. The Bahamas needs carpenters, mechanics, electricians, masons, AC technicians, farmers, teachers, nurses, and all jobs that can be trained here. Now, that I think a lot of people turn their nose up at, thinking about going to BTVI or getting into technical and vocational. They want everybody
to be a London lawyer.
Do you know how, if I could go back in time, I would have studied to be a hairdresser. You know how much money they make? I'm sure the woman that I go to, or nail tech, that makes more money in a week than I make in a month.
I love London trained lawyers, so I have a couple of them that are my favorites. Hello, Obi.
I do not understand why we turn our nose up at this. It's summer.
Send your son to be a plumber.
I don't think anybody being called as much right now than an AC technician.
The plumber.
AC technician.
And whenever you call the plumber, he ain't here to negotiate with you.
Someone say, please tell me a profession that Miller didn't study. That's what they want to know. We have people on the line. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, you there?
Yes, calling to comment about CLB versus going on to school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, CLB in my time.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated as a 3.3 high school student.
Mm-hmm.
Probably made a 3.1 in CLB. Transferred to the U.S. and made 3.9. So I want to commend UB for their curriculum. It is top-notch. I was able to get majority of my credits transferred. And I met my husband there, so shout out to CLB.
But let me ask you a quick question before you go, because it is one of the points that Levin brought up about transferring credits. How many credits were you allowed to transfer?
I transferred as a junior.
Okay.
So I took the actual curriculum course for each class I took at CLB to my U.S. school to show them that it was equal and on par. So you can't just ask for it to be transferred. Like, I had proof.
Okay.
So they accepted more credits than they wanted to.
Okay, but you would encourage people to go to UB?
Yeah.
Because you might meet your husband there.
You might meet your husband there.
And he's a good man, too.
Yes, ma'am. You know they say, as much as we talk with women, thank you, caller, as much as we talk with Bahamian man, they say Bahamian men better than the men in the U.S. That's what they say. I don't know if that's true.
And in all of the Caribbean.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening, Francesca.
Hi, how you doing?
You all right?
I'm good.
This ain't 8188.
Y'all okay today?
Hey, buddy, this 818? This sound like 818.
Yes. Lama, do you all realize to know that everybody who born in Turks and Caicos get free education to the States?
To the States?
And
to the States? I thought it was the UK.
The government is giving you free education. You all aware of that?
No, that's the first time I heard of that.
That's the first time you all ever heard that,
Yeah, no, I never heard that.
Yeah, when you're born in Turks and Caicos, the government now, they send you to college. Usually, the majority of lawyers in Turks and Caicos, when they go to do law and everything,
I thought it was
they end up staying in London and stuff like that. They don't have some has come up in Oslo, but some don't come up.
Okay.
You can Google it.
I definitely I gotta Google that one.
You never heard about that?
No, that's a first for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, Miss Brown.
Hi.
How we looking on the 66,000?
I know your daughter say she can be a psychiatrist, right?
Uh-huh.
She's studying to be a psychiatrist, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, the best study for her to do is sports medicine. And being a psychiatrist, you know, when people do psychiatrist work, they have pressure. There's a pressure around them and try to bring people back together. The best education for anybody right now is sports medicine.
Okay.
Once you do sports medicine,
Yeah.
it only takes you like 3 or 4 years the most, and you could wait to any basketball around the world,
think it worked like
baseball, any sport, and do sports medicine.
Medicine is take like
All right.
10.
Sounds good to me.
All right,
I
thank
actually
you,
want to
Paula.
encourage more people to go be hygienists. It only takes 2 years. You get a degree. You could be your own boss, and you could do $100,000.
I encourage people to do things that they love to do because when you love your job, then you put extra effort into it, and then you get to make money doing what it is that you love.
Right, but you know, some people don't know that the hygienist profession is a thing that is actually real. Like a lot of people only associate dentistry with dental, orthodontics, or cosmetics. No, you could go to school and study dental hygiene. It's 2 years. You come back in 2 years. You could work for yourself and make $100,000 a year doing it. And you get to wear scrubs so people could think you're a big fancy medical practitioner.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the phone lines are still open, 323-7775. We have a lot of comments. I see your comments. We're going to get to those when we come back as well. And you can still send your shout-outs and stuff in the comments, and we'll be sending the shout-outs to all the graduates from today. We'll be back right after this.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods, taste the difference.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Leland Miller.
And I'm Sandy Brown. We do have some comments and stuff. We have some more shout outs we have to get to, but you want to go to the phone lines first?
Sure.
All right.
Hello, phone line.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Call you there? No? All right.
They're gone?
What do you got for
okay.
us?
All right, 323-7775. 323-7775. We're going to go back to some of the comments. I agree. No one wants their good child to go to BTVI or even UB. Even if the child themselves don't have the desire to travel abroad, it seems that today's parents don't mind the struggles of their children as long as they can live their dreams of going to college. Some of today's parents seem to be living vicariously through their children with little or no regard for what the children want or need. Meanwhile, the kids that do decide to take up a trade are succeeding hugely. For example, I had a guy come to service my air condition, change the filter. That was $80 just for him to start the work. When I asked why it was so much, he calmly said, "Do you see where you live? I had to drive out here first. There was nothing I could say. I had to pay the bill." Same for plumbing, electrical services, and other services needed to maintain my home. I absolutely agree. I say that all the time. Hairdressers, nail techs, plumbers, electricians, mechanics, what else?
Those other people.
Who are the people? You don't even paying attention. You on your phone doing
am
everything but what you're supposed to be paying
the
attention
people
to.
the laborers. That's what I wanted to say. Labor.
I don't think you go to school to study labor, to
No,
be a
but
laborer.
No.
We
not
talking
to
about
stu-
BTVI.
Not to study to be a laborer. I'm talking about those people that do those odd end jobs around your yard. Like, I think if you, like, there aren't enough of those. Like, do you remember how one time ago you would grow up, you'd be in the neighborhood, and you could kind of always find the neighborhood guy that does the odd jobs, like the boxing, washing, and no one does any of that anymore.
No, but we're talking about things that you still need
Training,
to
yes.
go to BTVI.
The problem is, these people seem to be lacking in acumen. Like, I can't even trust this young boy to go up on this ladder because he could fall in my yard, and now I gotta cover him under my indemnity. There's a lack of skill, is the point I'm making.
Yes.
And that doesn't necessarily even need to happen in a classroom or on a campus.
No, but we are advocating for people to at least take up some sort of secondary.
And I'm saying,
tertiary.
I think that is where we kind of are going. Like, there was a lot of just retraining people back in the day, and that's where all our skilled people kept coming from. These days, you get a fella that go in a class. He come out this class with this certificate would say he's a carpenter, and when I bring him out here, he can't do no carpentry.
But I want my carpenter to have gone to school too, though.
Do you think the person who pitched Renee Roof been to any school?
Absolutely.
I bet
Carlo,
not.
welcome to the show. I want you to have some sort of certificate.
Okay.
You don't have to go to school the 4 years, but I can need you to have some sort of certificate because that requires math. That requires a lot of stuff.
I know a crane operator who struggles to write his own name. But nobody could beat this boy operating a crane.
Operating a crane is something completely different from being a carpenter.
What do you mean?
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Sandy.
Hi.
Good. Levan.
Hey, SG.
Listen to me. The operating a crane is really a risk skill.
I don't know what Francesca talking about.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
people with a barcode, digging a barcode.
That's not something that you go in the classroom to learn.
But you can't.
Yeah, man. I mean, it could be hands-on. You could look and you could watch and learn that. For you could really watch it.
No, I don't think there's a difference between somebody who has to, a carpenter who has to build things and put things together,
who have to lift a 10,000-pound jack. Yes.
You think that that's the same educational level? Yes.
Before you all cut me, you all cut me quickly. Let me say a happy congratulations to all of the graduates in the Bamboo Town constituency.
Okay.
Coming from the Member of Parliament, the Speaker, Ms. Patricia DeVoe. Also, please allow me to invite all of the men, whether you're a grandfather, a father, a godfather, whether you were blamed for a child and you took care of the child, come to our headquarters on Saturday from 4 until. We're having our Father's Day Chill and Grill and our domino tournament. Now, if you're marching on the domino table, don't come.
Okay.
There are some big prizes will be there on Saturday.
All right.
4 until. Now, Sunday, we're looking for some women to come and serve the men. We want all the men to be catered to.
Hang up on him.
SG, you sliding out the corner. Oh, boy. Isn't it wonderful?
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sonny and Yvonne.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I prefer the students, if they can, start out at UB.
Mm-hmm.
Get that, adjustment, comfortable in the college life. And then you can advance. And if you decide to do a specialty or whatever, you can always go and go off. I would prefer starting out at UB because it's just as good as any college overseas. And in reference to BTBI, it is so difficult to get in there.
Really?
Yes. A lot of persons are entering BTBI, even the National Training Agency.
Maybe it's time they need to expand it and make it as big as
Maybe there's something MPs could focus on.
Maybe it's time that they need to expand it.
The minister announced that today. They're going to build I think it's $250 million campus with BTBI because it's really that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because hands-on those plumbers, masons, carpenters, and I think they have to do the English and math as well because you have to know how to read.
Just the basic stuff. Yeah, I agree. I don't think 4-year colleges are for everybody. I think that sometimes you just have to go specialize in something, get a certificate, just so you could know the basics and go into the field that you need to go into.
And when I see foreigners, when I see persons coming from especially Caribbean here, and they are eating it up, they are taking advantage of the system. I mean, coming and getting an education. And I think, the graduates, congratulations to all of the UB graduates. They did well because it's a lot of work, stress, like Levan mentioned about the parking and all of these different obstacles. But that's part of college life. That's part of adjustment.
Yeah.
You understand? So I would prefer them starting off here, except if you get a scholarship, of course. But I would prefer that.
Okay.
Y'all take care and stay safe.
All right, thank you.
You know, the guy that does my plumbing, you know what he always says? He says his daddy was a plumber or a contractor. And he says his daddy used to make him cut so much trench that he said to himself one summer, my brother, this the last summer I cut in trench. That's how he learned plumbing.
Okay.
Never been to a classroom. Never have no certificate.
I understand
Best plumber in the Bahamas.
I understand that, but some things I want my plumber to have some sort of education.
I think that we've created a vacuum with all of this sitting in a classroom. It's like, for instance, when I was on the Defense Force, you kind of just get baptized by fire. How do you handle a boat? Here's the $2 million boat. You all go there and break it up. Some things I think we are just passing off too easily.
No, I disagree. I'm sorry.
We build the entire country like this.
Yes, but we have moved and we have evolved. And I'm not saying that my plumber needs to go to a 4-year college and get a bachelor's degree in plumbing. But I want you to have a little certificate to say you did a course in something, in sanitation, you know something. I want you to have...
There's only 2 things you need to know as a plumber.
No, I'm sorry.
The payday is every Friday, and that the feces move down the pipe.
No, I'm sorry. I can need you to need something. I can need you to have a little certification, especially in these areas where things continue to change. In mechanics and when you're working on people, fridges and stoves, these things change over the years. So you have to adapt with the change. I don't want my stove be the first one of the kind you ever work with because you didn't go to brush up on your skills.
Right, but you will find that in every area, right? Like I know people who got IT degrees in the early 2000s. And I can tell you right now that when they sit me, I remember us having an IT professional who we had to get rid of because his IT experience is in hardware. And what we are trying to build is a cloud-based system. Does that make his bachelor's or master's degree in IT any less? It doesn't.
No, but that just means he needs to go into a different field.
And so all I'm saying is I think we have to put a little more effort in this people-to-people transfer of skill sets.
But I think that's what
which
BTVI
that's
is.
drying up.
But that is also what BTVI is for. It's mostly hands-on skills. So you get to learn from someone. I know someone who was my massage therapist. She does massage therapy there. And the majority of what they do...
massages, eh?
No, I just can't. I don't have time no more.
Oh, okay.
I could call her one of these days. But she also teaches at BTVI, and most of it is hands-on. But there are also other things you need to know when you're doing massages and stuff, other than right there. So certain things you need your little certificate in.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, go to college. If you want to be a neurosurgeon, go to college. If you want to be an aeronautical space science, go to college. I am saying, though, that what I am finding increasingly, and not just me, America, China, is there's becoming an oversaturation of these paper professionals.
Yeah, but they still want you to have some sort of certificate.
Sure.
It doesn't have, and I don't disagree with you. I don't think everybody needs to go to a 4-year college. I think a lot of places now you could get a job doing social media management by getting a 3-month certificate that you did online, but you still have to learn the basics in certain stuff.
Sure.
And to learn the basics, some of these things you need to go to school.
No, I don't disagree.
It don't have to be a
I've been to school,
5-year. You've just been to school.
Precisely, because I was busy learning life.
And still had to end up going back to school.
And I continue to tell people, my going to school was about self-actualization. I just wanted the people with the degree to stop asking me what my degree was in. That's the only reason I go on to school.
But I mean, I don't think everybody doesn't need to have a degree. I know people who are in the field that I am in.
I agree.
Who is succeeding well without a degree. I know people who went to college and got bachelor's degree and came back to be a journalist and couldn't do it because they didn't have that. They didn't have the it factor. Everybody can't, when the cameras turn on, everybody don't know what to do. Everybody don't know what to say.
Right.
Some people is get scared. So I don't disagree with you. Right. I'm just saying that everybody don't need.
So I think what the Bahamas is missing a lot of these days is we are missing the Slim Millers of the world. We are missing the Blackbeard Stanley DeVoes of the world. And we have to figure out where that is. Sure, send your children to college, send them wherever you want. But I think we have to go back to the point where there are senior men in the community that are kind of pouring inculcation into younger men so that there is a transfer of people-to-people knowledge versus everybody got 1,000 plaque on a wall and no one can pitch the roof.
I don't disagree, but I think to pitch a
your
roof,
daddy, your granddaddy don't know who Pythagoras is. He don't know who calculus is. All he say is nail that down.
Yeah, but I still need you to know what an inch is, what
he don't even know inch. He knows 16 penny nail and an 8 penny nail.
Yeah, that's no. I need you to have a certificate. All right, let's do some. We go back to the phone. Phone. Then we can go do the rest of our shout outs. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Sanjesta.
Hi.
Do you know it's a lot of very educated professional workers out there that never ever been to college to learn nothing like plumbing, electrical work, and just became a helper, and they just took it.
I tell you, my plumber is the best in the world.
And they wanted some of the professionals to get the big jobs. Then people who don't have no certificate, they ain't getting none, and who get license, they ain't getting them.
Okay, I just saying that
you realize to know that, right?
Yeah, I just saying I would like the one that come and work on my car to at least have some sort of certificate to know what they're doing. I understand that mechanics and stuff, my brother was really into mechanics. He never went to school to do nothing, used to be up under the car and doing the things himself. But he wanted to get better, and if he hadn't unfortunately passed away, that probably would have been something that he would have done. There are people that just know how to do certain things. But I do feel like if you are going to be working on specific types of cars, that you should at least have the knowledge in those cars.
I agree. I agree 100% because every year new cars coming out.
Yeah, now they're probably going to have a need for people to...
And they get all these cars, electrical and all kind of things.
And you don't think somebody gonna have to get a certificate or some sort of schooling to know how to fix some of these electric cars, these hybrid cars? They're the same as these old cars.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
A lot of mechanics ain't want to deal with these electrical cars and stuff.
Agreed.
They don't want to go to school and learn. Wait on them to say anything. When you take it, they tell you straight and plain. I don't wait on them.
And they lose their money.
But it's because a lot of the cars now are more about everything than it is about mechanical. So like there was once basic concepts of mechanics.
Yeah, but it's different now.
Those things
and
have
that's why
changed.
you have to learn, is what I'm saying. I took my car to mechanic, and the guy told me that my car was electrical, and he don't know how to do this, so I need to carry it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you leaving money on the table when you do things like that.
No. Sanchester, all mechanics, they fix cars, but they don't deal with electrical.
All
They
right.
get plenty of mechanics to fix any car from scratch, but they don't bother electrical parts.
But then you can't fix any car
They don't-
because a
they don't
lot of
do
cars
it.
now are
They don't
electrical.
bother with it.
Or like how you have very, very masterful mechanics who will never touch a transmission.
Yeah, you get only people that fix transmission.
Yeah.
You know what?
And ain't none of them been the transmission fixed in school. They just.
Only real mechanics that bother with transmission and everything.
Yeah. All right, caller. Thanks.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
no problem.
All right, they want us to get to the grad shout-outs. Let's do some of the grad
All right.
shout-outs really quickly. Shout out to Myron Smith Jr., who
That sound like my
graduated
neighbor.
from Cleveland Eneas
Yeah, that's my
Primary.
neighbor.
Congratulations, Myron. Also, congratulations to Daniel Thompson Jr. Is this Daniel?
this-
Yes, Daniel
oh, he
Thompson
graduated
Jr.
from preschool,
He
eh?
graduated from Andy
Oh.
Carr.
Andy Gar.
Gar.
Yeah.
Huh?
Damal is his name, not Daniel.
Oh, Damal. Wow. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Damal Thompson Jr.
And he's a junior, which means that there's another Damal.
It's probably because I never heard of Damal before. My apologies.
It
to
looks like
Damal
Daniel.
family.
The graphics
It does
look
look like Daniel, but sorry, Damal. So congratulations, he graduated from Andy Gar preschool. Handsome little kid. Also, congratulations to Michael Miller Jr., who graduated from R. Bailey.
Yeah, the school that his daddy get kicked out of.
Is this your son?
No, I named Levan Miller. Why would my son name Michael Miller Jr.?
Oh, I know. You hide your children like you don't want us to know.
But I wouldn't name him Michael.
No, very true. Happy birthday. Congratulations to Zaria Forbes. She got a Bachelor's of Science. Is that from UB?
Sorry,
No?
that name sounds familiar.
No. She attended UB first. Okay, so she just graduated with her Bachelor's of Science. Congratulations, Zaria. And Paris A. Lightborn, she graduated from UB with a Bachelor's of Science. Is Castro niece, and you don't have a picture of her, Castro? Shame on you.
Give a little chance.
Don't tell me don't get a little chance. Shame on you. So congratulations to all our grads. I think we still had some that I missed. Hold on.
This
Sorry.
is one bunch of graduating people.
Oh, Joshua Baker, who graduated from CV Bethel. Someone said, just for the record, Levin did study Mandarin.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I feel like
And was on my way to China.
COB prepares you for any college or university, is what someone said.
Getting a mortgage was what stopped me. I didn't want to leave my new mortgage. That was why I didn't go on.
This man is Madam Speaker PRE, because unless congratulations come from her directly, don't speak for her. What I mean.
Boy, y'all is a tough crowd.
323-7775, 323-7775. Where is Miller's certificate in plumbing? You know he is a jack of all trades.
I'm not a plumber. So the two things you will never hear me ever say that I've done is be a plumber or an electrician. As a matter of fact, the three people that could guarantee they can get the money from me is the plumber, the electrician, and the pilot.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, no, I want to go to flight school. I lied with the last one. But definitely, I don't touch electricity.
group.
I was shocked when I was 7. I don't play with any electricity.
Okay. Can we get back to some of the social media comments? I don't think we finished those. Hold on. I'm trying to pull
And
up
have you
here.
seen what plumbers do?
What do you mean?
Man, you never see a real plumber. There's absolutely no way I could do that.
Anyway, today I see parents draining their savings so their child could go abroad while their child's degree is labeled undecided. Then year one, funds gone. Child comes home, student visa issues for everyone else. I'll tell you one thing. So I'm going to read this one, and let me read this one too, and then I'll say that. I think people are missing the fact that attending certain schools alone matters within certain fields. Let's be real, UB doesn't have international prestige, so for certain fields it offers no benefit. They also have failed to diversify their course offering, engage in meaningful research or projects that attract students. I'm from the sciences, so we pay attention to the type of research college, institutions, departments, professors do. even being enrolled at UWI, my institution is involved in research. The professors published. I got opportunities to be a part of regional publications through them. As a whole, UWI will always have some panel, webinar, or every topic you can imagine. So it sounds like that person is advocating for UWI.
No,
over
absolutely.
UB.
And I think UWI, of course, Dr. Robin Roberts is over there, and I think he's a phenomenal human being, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. So I get it. I mean, I get why people would like to, and I said that, if you're doing it for networking purposes, absolutely. If you care about being a part of why the Ebola virus come back after 50 years research, that is true. Fine, that's fantastic. But to all the people that give this amount of credence to structured education, right, I oftentimes ask them, who gave the first person with a degree the degree? And did that person have a degree? These are systems that we've built. And while the systems are necessary, I get that, I think human-to-human transition and transaction of information, we are woefully lacking. And I'm telling you, as somebody that moves around and does things, most times, I'll never forget, Clifford Cavallo always said, there are two pilots that I have. One have a folder full of certificate. I don't let him fly me nowhere. He almost crashed me in Norman's Key. Then I have another pilot. All he have is a pilot pin. That is my official pilot. So again, I mean...
I do agree that a lot of businesses are also moving away from just your degree alone, and they want a combination of experience, or you'll see them say bachelor's degree in whatever, or equivalent years of experience.
Right.
So they are counting the fact that maybe you didn't get a degree, but you've been working in this field for 10 years,
right.
So you may know. Even when I went to school, I studied journalism, and when I went into actually studying journalism, everything I learned in school kind of went out of the window.
Right.
There are some fields that you have to be in order to learn. But the basics, English and subject-verb agreement and all of that stuff are things that you would have to learn in school. But speaking and where I put my inferences when I talk, and how to not be nervous in front of the camera, and what to do with my hands and things like this, I had to learn getting thrown in.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah,
And
even sitting here. Nobody taught me how to sit at a desk and talk.
Yeah.
One day, Clint wasn't there, and they was like, Sonny, you going
up
on
next.
the desk.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to learn that I never learned in college. So I agree that there are some things but there are also some things that you do need to have the basics in.
And you know what's interesting as well? In this country, right, some of our most decorated legal minds, I'm talking about most prominent legal minds, didn't go to a law school.
I know about that.
They articled this. What is his name? The gentleman from the PLP that went to SAC. Is it Sean McQuinney?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think he went to law. There was a time when
he went to college.
I'm saying there was a time when people articled as lawyers, and those articled lawyers, many of them have done phenomenal work as legal minds in the country.
But then he went to college. He got some sort of degree. He didn't just go to high school and then do that.
Sure. I think in the time that it was happening, what would happen was many of them would leave high school, right? I think a lot of them went to
I know his son definitely
night school or whatever have you. Fine.
Yeah.
And then they would article with a senior lawyer. I think that took 3 years or 4 years. And then they would be recommended to take the bar. They would study for the bar. They would take the bar. If they pass it, they became an articled lawyer. Janet Bostwick was an articled lawyer before she went to college to become an actual been-to-college lawyer.
But she went to college.
What I'm saying is I
want my lawyer to go
there
to college.
are very decorated legal minds in this country that are articled lawyers.
Yeah, but they went to some sort of college.
No, some of them just took the bar. This is what I'm saying to you.
Okay, but okay. All right.
You have to take the bar because you need it for the license.
Okay.
But they didn't do structured. The point I'm making is I think older people, so I think you are now in the category of people that I'm talking about, have to identify little TT in your community and say, come baby, come ride with me on Saturdays. Let me kind of show you, what does it take? What to say when someone says this? How to stand when you go this place? What to wear if you're going in this place? If the dress code says this thing, this is what they mean. Mm-hmm. And we have to kind of find a place that's a happy medium to pass that kind of information from generation to generation so that we don't lose it.
Okay. I think that we need a combination of both. I think that education in some fields is still important, but I also feel that hands-on training is also more important. And I think that's why people do internships a lot too, so they could get in the field and learn. We have some more grad shout outs. We have some more grad shout outs. I hope I pronounced this one right. Renee.
Renee?
Renee or Renee?
It looked like Renee.
Well, congratulations, Renee. She graduated from Temple Christian. There you go.
What Renee's last name is?
It don't say on this.
Yeah, okay. There you have it, Renee. Well, like, how much Renee could it be?
Yes, and especially spelled like that. And we had a photo up of her. Put the photo up again.
Yeah.
So, Renee, congratulations on your graduation. There you go.
There you have it.
Nice nails, too. There was another one in the comments. Sorry, I just get distracted.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Rashawn Lamore, graduate of St. John's, my baby boy.
You know, you didn't answer my question.
What?
Where did the first person who get the degree from?
I don't know. I mean, why would you ask me that? No, I don't sit down and get high and have high thoughts.
No. Okay, so what qualified the people that gave him the degree to give him the degree?
Okay, but we need it now. So,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, but we need it now. Miller went back to school because the circle he travels in all have degrees, and he felt like a dummy, so he went for his paper.
Actually, no. I wanted to prove to people that at the point that I got my degree, I was making enough money to not need a degree. That's why I never took the government scholarship.
What did you get the degree in?
Psychology. I paid for my degree. Associates, I don't want a degree past that. But I paid for my degree in cash. You could go check the college. I made all cash payments. Yeah, but because I just wanted to prove to them that I was already making money. I didn't need this degree. But since y'all keep asking for one, here's the degree. You eat the paper. We can see you all tomorrow.
I was trying to understand it in my head and put two and two together, but see y'all later.